All right, let's do a brief audio and visual check. How's everybody doing? Let's go through it. Give me a few moments while I get something set up on my end. Audio and visual sounds good. All right, so far so good. Great way to start the week out. Good for you. Good. Awesome. Give me just a few minutes. I got minutes, seconds, whatever. Okay, let's get started. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. As you can see in the YouTube chat, the Nightbot and myself, two risk disclosures, just so everybody knows this is for education purposes only. It is not financial advice and is definitely not a signals class. Let's get to it. Tonight, it is Sunday. It's only a 1 hour class. It's only a 1 hour session. So let's get through the rapid fire. Let's get to these markets. What a crazy Friday. I did take a loss on Friday, and yeah, here it is, a new week after that big sell-off. This is the NASDAQ daily, and let's go through this rapid fire. Let's get to some questions, and this is the Slow Markets account. We'll review the trade. We have one trade in this Slow Markets account, and yeah, we'll see if there's any other trades setting up for tonight going into tomorrow. Fresh week after a big sell-off. Guess what? If we take a look at this, we were looking at this all week. Consolidation, sell-off. Here we are, right? Now, it's easy with hindsight, but I've been talking about it. Consolidation, sell-off. I mean, there's not... There's a reason why it looked. It's very similar to what we were seeing in November. If you tuned in at all last week, I mean... This is what I was talking about. There's a reason why I was, really tempted and was getting into those shorts last Wednesday with Coach Jay. Of course, you never expect this huge of a move in any terms, right? I was looking for a sell-off down here to this zone. I mean, we did get a very extended sell-off on Friday. It is Friday. You don't sell a Friday rally. Obviously, we find out you don't buy a Friday sell-off, especially this past Friday. Now, the question is, where do we go? What do we do? And what are we seeing for this upcoming week? Well, if we look for patterns and pure technicals, right, it's been pretty straightforward. It's for the past, for as long as I can remember. After a big sell-off, do we see continuation? What are we seeing in this market? Like, what type of market condition are we currently in? Well, if we're looking at this price action, what happened after we sold off? And now every single day the market's different, right? Is it earnings? Is it this? Is that? It's always something different. Everyone will always be able to come up with a reason to say this time's different, right? Everyone's heard that. Everyone thinks that sometimes. It's like, you know what? This time's different because something happened on Friday that didn't happen on this time or this time or this time. Well, it's always different until it's not, right? Where we had that sell-off, and then after that sell-off, look what happened, right? Big rally, all-time highs, nice rally. Every time we've had to sell off like this, usually the same thing happens. At the end of the week, I'm like, man, that was a beautiful buying opportunity, right? That was a beautiful buying opportunity. Each one of these sell-offs have been decent buying opportunities. Now, you can make an argument that there's perfect every buying opportunity, every rally has been selling opportunities, right? You could flip the script and say, oh, each one of these rallies have been great selling opportunities. Well, yeah. That's what happens when you're in a very messy consolidating market for the past few months. Every sell-off has been buying opportunities, and every rally has been selling opportunities, especially when you're in a market like this. I kind of lean towards the buying side. I am a buyer at heart, and sometimes like Friday or some of these extended sell-offs, they're my Achilles heel. It's where I struggle in my trading, I guess. I guess I would say. Now, here we are. We had this, basically a week's worth of consolidation, ending it with a nice sell-off. Now, do we get continuation? Are we going to see some follow through like we did to start January, the beginning of January? Are we going to see any follow through during these previous sell-offs? Well, what I like to do, and everyone in here knows, is, I love these averaged moves, right? We take, when we do sell off, about how far do we go when we sell off? Let's take an average. It's not rocket science, but we can take a guess, and we could say, when we sell off, about how far do we sell off? Is there still room in this sell-off? And where could we expect this market to go if we do not know anything else? If we're not basing any market structure, well, I can make an argument to say, you know what? There's still room. There's still room for this sell-off. If we're looking at maybe an average, this is just eyeballing it. This is just a guess, right? We don't know for sure. I don't want to go through and do all the calculations. But, if I was to make a guess, an educated guess, and based off of how this market condition is, I would not be surprised if there's more room to this downside. I mean, if we wake up tomorrow, and tomorrow at the end of the day, we're down here at 21,200, 21,300s. No big surprise. I don't know. Did I add this one in? Did I calculate this move? Sure. That's still a little bit on the downside. So there's definitely more room for this market to continue down. There was a lot of momentum Friday. We seen that. And where would be some downside targets? Well, obviously, we see this being a downside target, right? A lot of buyers stepping in around this 21,000 even, up plus or minus, a little bit in this zone. That could be a realistic target. Maybe if you're more bullish, maybe you want to be a little more aggressive, then there's an area maybe up on this higher ends you could see this market going. And then as you zoom in, let's zoom in the hourly chart, and let's start to break it down a little bit and say, where are we expecting? We were seeing this as resistance, this level around 21,900. This resistance we broke through. Resistance tried to become support. It became support one time, and then it tried to become support again. And then it tried to become support one more time on Friday. You've seen that, right, in the morning? And we didn't. We failed. We broke down, and we are back in this zone. If we look, let's see. Where did we kind of finish off? We finished off right around this 600 level. These mid 600s. These mid 600s. And if we extend this, you could see, well, support there. That's not too, it's like, it just didn't go at a random place. There was a level of support and resistance. Maybe there that's a decent argument. Now, we are bouncing off of that, and we're kind of in the, I don't know, do we want to say middle? Do we want to say middle if we want to sit here and keep doing some more in-depth analysis? The start of this rally was right here in these mid 700s. That was the start of this breakout. We broke down, we sold off. Looks like tonight we got a little bit of a rally. Tonight we opened up and we came back up and we tested this little level. And that level so far has became support. The question I think I have is, do we sell off and come down and test this? If we test it, do we break down? And then do we continue to maybe some point lower? Right? Do we look at one of these areas for a lower as a target? This one actually looks not too bad of a zone for this market to sell off. Support, resistance, support. This could be a target. This definitely could be a target if we do break through these mid 600s. And then the next question, if we do end up rallying, if we do break through this, do we come back up here towards these 900s? And maybe look for an area of resistance where this was a nice area. There was a lot of selling pressure coming in around these 900s, these mid to 900s. So can we come up, rally, and then, this was a nice support and resistance, and we come back and test it like this? Sure. I don't see why not. This market's very volatile. And you can see the difference. And this is one thing I was going to point out, right? If we want to speak on volatility, I talk about it every once in a while. I've talked about it more often lately than not. See the volatility picking up, We're seeing volatility in these markets picked up since. Let me make this more visible for everybody to see. So there you have it. There's a beautiful example of understanding volatility in price, right? Where average true range, it was very, very low on holidays, right? On the holiday. But look, just like price, you can see that volatility is increasing. Volatility is increasing. Volatility is increasing. Tomorrow, are we going to see volatility decrease? Can we see volatility decrease? Something like this. And then obviously maybe we see this trend continue in the volatility side where it's, I don't know, maybe we could get back up to where we were throughout the beginning of January and some of this peak volatility of this. The market is very volatile is an understatement of the year. Hey, if you traded during COVID, you'll know that COVID volatility was something else, right? The volatility in COVID is much different than what we're seeing here. COVID, I remember, man, it was down 2%, up 2%. This move was like a normal, that's just a normal 2% sell-off, followed by a 3% rally midday. And then like another 1.5% sell-off right after lunch. Like that's kind of what the COVID was. But we are seeing a peak, a big change in volatility from the holiday and this consolidation. This was the daily chart. Remember those doji candles on the daily? And then we kind of finally picked a direction, and that's quite the move. Now, I'm talking for my personal accounts. I'm actually hoping. Hope in one hand, right? Is a different thing. I really do. I really want this market before the New York session open because I would love to get this market down here to a little bit lower and get in some quarterly or monthly longer term position. I would love to be a buyer down here around this 21,500, looking at the next month, looking at the next quarter, and I can see potential for this market to, by the end of the month, rotate back up here and even break all-time highs. Now, we might even do that in a day. There's plenty of times where we say the same thing, like, hey, by the end of the week, we're going to look back and say, this was a buying opportunity. However, a lot of momentum to the downside. A lot of momentum to the downside after we've seen on Friday. If we zoom into this 5-minute chart, I'll show you where I took a loss on Friday. Man, if you think I don't get emotional, I do. I really do get emotional. I took a loss on Friday, and it was basically off of this bounce. I was looking for this market to bounce off these lower 800s. And if I zoom into this 5-minute chart, this is where I took the loss. You guys seen it? I was on air, TopstepTV. I ended up, I was in long around here. I was in long around here. I was up some money. This is I make mistakes all the time. So this is one of the mistakes I made. I was in long. I was up like $3,000, $4,000. I closed off one contract at 0.28. Man, I was so frustrated. I closed off one contract at exactly 0.28. I closed one out of 5, and I was getting ready to close off more if we would have got a little bit of a bounce. I didn't. I ended up scratching this trade. I don't know where. It was like somewhere right, I think, on the break of this. And I didn't place a trade. I was practicing patient. I was tempted to buy this one. Don't get me wrong. I was tempted to look for longs here. I didn't, just because I was looking at this 1 hour time frame, and you could see that there was a nice level of resistance here. And I'm like, no. This was the level of support and resistance. I was long there. I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. And, sure enough, we sold off, and then we came back down to this level of support. And then on the 5-minute chart, this is where I took my freaking loss on Friday. It was so frustrating, honestly. Now, this isn't just the Topstep account. I didn't take a loss just in my Topstep account. I took a decent loss in my, let's see. Come on. What happened? I'm getting the bugs for tonight. Let's... Press escape to exit forward. To exit, press and hold escape. Well, I guess, anyway, you're going to have to... All right, let's see if I could reset this view. I hit something on my keyboard. Let's see here. One moment. Everyone has to bear with me. Technical issues right here. Technical issues. I don't want to screw up the stream. Let's see. There we go. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's put this right there. Log in. There we go. Found a workaround to fix it. So yeah, that maybe shows you how frustrated I was Friday. Now this is where I was looking to. I actually took my loss. This is where I took my loss on Friday. Is this consolidation? This consolidation, you can see over here on this higher time frame, like an hourly chart. There was a lot. This was right in the middle. And we're going into the end of the day, right? We're going into the end of the day, and there's two things that was on my mind for this in particular trade. So we were right at a nice level, a zone. We're going into the end of the day, going into lunch, right? This is lunch. This is the last couple hours of the trading day, and I'm just like, you know what? This is an opportunity to buy it. Not looking for anything too crazy. I'm not looking for the market. I was looking for maybe something like this. I didn't find any great opportunities to sell this. I would have loved, and of course it's easy to say because you could just close your eyes and sell it, right? Close your eyes and sell it. That is what made money. But we didn't really get a pullback. We didn't really get much of a pullback. Remember Thursday, I think it was. Yeah, this was beautiful. This was beautiful. Where we had a sell-off, we had a pullback. You seen that Thursday? Nick for a tick and myself shorted this. Beautiful trade, textbook, easy, simple. Obviously, nothing's easy, but after the fact, you look at it and see that's what I was looking for. That's what I was wanting in this market on Friday. And we didn't get that. We got maybe a little bit here, but there was just nothing. It was just sell. And finally, we came to a little bit of consolidation, right? Absolutely nothing. Just everyone selling the market. No pullback to sell it, at least the way that I view the market and trade. I'm sure there's plenty of traders who would find reason and opportunity to sell it on the breaks and probably made some really good money. For me, nope. I seen this. We finally got some consolidation, and right here, this is what caused me to go long, where we had a 3-bar reversal, failed. We came down, we ran this low, and so I'm like, okay, great, nice, another 3-bar reversal. I ended up getting in long. It was at like 806. My stop loss was down here at 69, and man, it smacked me, and I was like, you know what? I just can't trade this. This is an untradeable market for the way that I trade. But there's no opportunities to sell it in terms of like any type of pullback and then a sell-off. You can make an argument to say this was a pullback, but not off a 5-minute. That's hard to do on a 5-minute chart for me. And here we go. We sold off. We came down here, and man, price just kind of flatlined for the rest of the day. Price kind of flatlined, and here we are. We gapped up, and yeah, buyers are now in this market. Ever since we closed on Friday, we've went up as far as 0.6, 130 points. We're sitting at about 0.5%, about 100 points to the long side. And yeah. Let's go through some of these questions. Adisa Love, this dude's not giving no knowledge away. You all are doomed if you're not profitable yet and think this is going to help you. All right. Grammar school. I know I struggle with grammar, but come on. Yeah, it's shifting. I'm at break even. My shorts now. Stop criticizing other traders, but you hear this. Yeah, if you don't have to. Yeah, I'm not gonna let someone hijack this class. We only have an hour. Let's get to some more questions. Let's look for another. I don't see a decent trade here on the NASDAQ. I do not see a decent trade here on the NASDAQ. Let's move on. Let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil. Interesting. We had one trade. Who is here? Yeah, this one is for you, Adisa, in the chat. This one's for you. Tune in to Slow Markets Thursday. We had an amazing trade set up. Okay, if everyone remember who was in here for Slow Markets on Thursday, we had one trade in this Slow Markets account, and you know what it is. Everyone in here probably knows exactly what it is, right? Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Let's look at this. Crude oil trade. This was last Thursday. One trade. This is an overnight trade. Beautiful example, right? First trade, it was Thursday night, which is technically Friday's price action. One trade, $540. Combine, obviously, this is my slow markets. And if we take a look at this, you can see it was last night. We got in at 72.43. So if we take a look at crude, remember the analysis on crude? And where did crude go? Let's get back over to this crude. 72.43. Got in short up here. This was the setup. This was the setup. We were short there. Stop loss was what? 96. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. But here's what the idea was. The idea is simple, straightforward. This market has been bearish. This market has been selling off. This is a very short and straightforward type of trade. I went over this during class. Yeah, once again, every little rally has been selling opportunities. Selling opportunity, guess what? Same thing, selling opportunity. Now, two things happened. Two things happened on this trade. We took profit, okay? But remember, what was our take profit? I don't know. You guys probably remember more than me, but there's two take profit. There's two target areas. The first one was the one that we actually took. Right here, what was it, 71.82? 71.82? Let's see. I think it was 71.82. 71.89. Close enough. 71.89. So that was the trade there. Take profit, 71.89. So this was the trade setup. It was a one-to-one risk reward, however that is. And then there was that opportunity, if there was multiple contracts, easily looking for this 70.5. Now, I chose not to put this as a take profit because it was Friday's price action. There was not a lot of time left. But yeah, if you left a runner, obviously that would have played out really, really well. That would have been an easy, I keep saying the word easy, but nothing's easy. That would have been an opportunity for a 4-to-1, 3-to-1, right around there, depending on where you took profit. So good example, place a trade, put a stop loss in, set it and forget it. Set it and forget it. That was the type of trade that we seen right there. And that's kind of probably one of the best demonstrations that anybody in here is going to be able to get for why I love slow markets, why I love trading at this time, and kind of what I do. Like, that is win or lose. It doesn't matter too much by a trade to trade basis, but that is what I look for. That is why I have this slow markets, and there's opportunities in this market while we sleep, and we can take advantage of them. And hopefully I could continue to demonstrate this. We'll see. It was textbook. Yeah, simple, right? I mean, you don't have to overcomplicate it. This was a very simple trade. You didn't need to go in depth. You don't need a master's degree. You don't need any level of higher education to understand these very basic concepts. I don't execute it perfectly. Nobody executes it perfectly. Anyway, let's take a look at the Nikkei. The Nikkei, 38,215. The Nikkei is catching by Nikkei is one. It might be a setup for my overnight trade, to be honest. This could be an overnight trade setup that I'm liking. If we look at this higher time frame, look at this market. Where has been the buying opportunity here in the Nikkei? Well, every time this market over the past, since October, right? Since October, end of September, it's been by these lows, and this market has been returning up to these highs. Now, we failed to return to these highs around this area, but we are back down to this lower end. The question is, can we see the lower end of this zone, right? Are we going to see the extremes? Are we going to come down here towards these 37,800s, 37,900s? Or are we seeing what we get right now? Are we seeing this bounce happen right now? That is the question that I'm pondering here in the Nikkei. If we take a look at, say, a 100 tick chart, you can take a look, and we had that big sell-off. And if we continue to zoom in, let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. We got quite that. I think that was the opportunity. I think that one was the opportunity. Now with a little bit of hindsight, but tonight we've had a nice rally, a pullback. This is just tonight, another rally, major sell-off, and now we're sitting right in the middle. I think what could be a decent trade is looking for some type of a pullback and then market structure to buy it and looking for continuation up towards these highs. So I would like to see this market continue back up towards these 300s. So that could be a trade here in the Nikkei. Nothing else sitting up. Let's take a look at gold. Gold has been moving during slow markets. Gold has been a mover. 5-minute chart. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom out. Let's take a look. Let's get here. Give me just a moment. What is this? All right. Oh, gold. Gold. The first thing I look at when I see gold right now, who knows what this price action could be? This is the first thing I see. When I look at this, I immediately jump to a head and shoulders pattern. Yeah, head and shoulders, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder. A dandruff setup. Shut up. Brought to you by Head and Shoulders. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Technically, the trade wouldn't happen until we break the so-called neckline. And the funny thing is, this quote neckline. You can see where it's been support and resistance in the past throughout February, right? Resistance. So if gold does not hold this level, then can we see a sell-off back down here towards 29,000? Can we see this gold market return to 21,000 or 2,900, 2,900? I was used to the Nikkei, but yeah, 2,900. I wouldn't be surprised, right? This can be very, this is a trade. This is a trade. My main hesitation is this market's so strong. This market is very, very strong, and you can, it's hard to short gold. I will say that. It is very hard to short gold. However, let's look at the daily, and you kind of see something interesting here. Something interesting. Could this be similar to what we were seeing in the NASDAQ? 3 days of consolidation. These are close enough to a doji, right? Would you consider those close enough to consolidation, indecision? And so are we going to see the same thing in the NASDAQ where we get a sell-off? Maybe. This is a decision zone, right? Where if we are going to sell, I'm sure there's a lot of people looking at the same thing, and maybe there's opportunity. Maybe there is a decent opportunity. Nobody really knows for sure, right? Where there's could be some short opportunities up in here. Stop losses, I'm pretty sure, is going to be put there. And then some nice moves down. Maybe some traders who are looking longer term, swing tradings, maybe bigger institutions, people who there's definitely some people looking at this on the downside. How do you buy this, right? It's a lot easier to sell this market. It's a lot easier to sell this market right here because you can make a bearish argument probably a lot better than you can make a bullish argument at this point. Because where's the targets to the long side, right? You'd have to zoom in, and then you could make targets to the long side on the smaller time frame, but it's hard to make an argument to the long side on gold on this higher time frame. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is a tough one to trade. I would wait for a pullback. If we get a pullback, then I'll be all over it. This is a daily, obviously, and it's the same discussion on the hourly chart. Just waiting for a pullback. If this is a head and shoulders, and we do get a nice sell-off, then yeah, maybe if we can get down here towards 2,900, then some buying opportunity. I don't know. This is just a tough market to trade if it's not just buying the dips. How long does it keep working? You just keep buying the dips, I guess. Just a wick. I don't know. Coach Hoops in the chat. He's a gold trader, a lot more of a gold trader than I am. But I don't know about gold. Let's take a look. NASDAQ. Come on. Let's see the NAS. Yeah, NASDAQ. I'll tell you what I want, everybody. I want to wake up in the morning for fast markets, and I want to see the NASDAQ down 1%. If I wake up and by the time fast market starts, I want NASDAQ to sell off tomorrow. Dakota, are you not live with Topstep? Yeah, we're live. This is YouTube. We are live. This is a live stream. I know what you meant there, but that wasn't. If you tune in, you know. I know what he meant. I know what they meant. You gotta answer. Yeah, you. I gotta be careful with what I say, huh? Yes, this is recorded. I need to it's all online. It's all recorded. So I got to pay attention to what I say, right? If this wasn't recorded, I always like to give the same level of an answer as that question. You ask a very intelligent question. I will answer in a very, hopefully as intelligent as I can provide an answer. You ask a non-intelligent question, I will answer with a non-intelligent answer. That's typically the way I do. Since this is live and it's all recorded, I'm a little more lenient because I do know traders are new. Maybe this is your first time tuning in, so I give a lot more leeway to a lot of traders and a lot of people, obviously. All botted. Everyone's bots. Who knows? Maybe I just have a class of just everyone's a bot, and these are all just programs, and this is just a simulation, and I'm over here talking to myself. Brian, yes. To answer your question, yes. Yeah, I'm not seeing any good trade setups, everybody. I'm not seeing any great trade setups. For a slow markets, I'm looking on the 5-minute. I should be looking on an hourly. Is there an argument to buy crude oil here? This would be the closest trade setup I have. Would be an argument to buy crude, but I have a hard time buying crude if my ultimate target is going to be down here towards $65 a barrel. I do think that there's a decent chance that crude oil could return to $65 a barrel. So I have a tough time buying crude oil here. I really do. You know what? Maybe what this could be, this would be more realistic. Here would be, I don't think there's enough room. Maybe there is. Here would be the only setup I see here on crude tonight. This is the only setup I see tonight, and that would be like a buy stop at like 70.49. The stop loss would be, remember this is just an example. The stop loss would be at 69.76, and then I'd be looking for like a 1-to-1 trade, but it's just so hard. Maybe looking for us to return and test this level. Is there a 1-to-1 risk reward on here? Maybe I could get a 1-to-1. I don't like it because crude oil is a commodity. Crude oil goes down a lot easier than, say, NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ, it's not a commodity. It's a basket full of major stocks. And so it's a lot easier for the crude oil, a commodity, to go down than it would be for like an index, right? NASDAQ, ES, S&P, I mean, you name it. So this would be the only setup I would consider. I don't love it. I know this is a tough trade, and sometimes the tough trade is the best one. There is an argument that we ran stops at the open, and sometimes crude oil likes to just run down and break these lows and then rally. Let's pass on it tonight. I'm going to pass on this trade. No trade. I know this is probably going to be one where I tune in tomorrow night, and this could be probably one of the best trades. Like, yeah, you know that trade that you almost took, but you didn't? It worked out really well. This would probably be one of them, but it's not a good enough setup, and it doesn't follow the correct, structure, especially going against this trend. I would rather look for another pullback and then look for a selling opportunity. I'm looking for selling opportunities in crude, so it's just so hard for me to buy crude. So I'm going to pass, and especially when I'm that undecided. It's always best to move on to the next. Nikkei is getting a bounce. Keep going. 260. Let's see if we could get higher, baby. I did just get triggered into my live account. Ooh, let me see. That is interesting. I need to check this one. Where's that? I think it triggered me into my live. How do we log out of here? Well, I thought it did. It's cutting out. Well, I think it might have triggered me into my live account. Refresh YouTube. You might have to refresh. I'm checking to see if it triggered me into my live account. Oh, okay, it did. I am in long. It did trigger me into a trade. And I don't like that stop loss. I don't know how much I like this trade, to be honest. It sounds choppy. Try refreshing. Refresh your browser. I don't know why it's doing that. Obviously, I made over $500,000 last year, and I don't look at the tape. All right. We got a Andrew. Let's get this. Yeah. Oh, chat's going so fast. Chat's going for so fast. All right. Pause. All right. Let's go to. There we go. A little buffer keeps buffering. Try refreshing. Should work now. Should work. Let's see. I might just get out of this trade. I don't like it. Let's see if we could get out at a decent price. I did get some slippage. I had a sell stop at 240. It's not too bad of slippage. Not too bad of slippage. This is playing those extremes like I was saying. I think I might just get out of this. All right, so we did get back into this, get back through here. Now the question is going to be is, do we return back to these highs? Do we turn back above these 300s? Or do we get a bit of a pullback? All right, let's see. We could go ahead and we'll pull up this DOM, and I think I might just peel out of a couple contracts here. We'll see if it will allow me to get out of a couple, get a little bit of a bounce up into these upper 200s and get out. It's a bank holiday, no volume in Japan. I mean, regardless, right? This is volatile. Like, I mean, we've seen a 0.5% move up followed by, a decent move down. What is this? 0.75% down. And now we're seeing a nice little bounce of a 0.5% right back up. So not too bad in terms of volatility. Now, volatility and volume are two different things, right? Let's see if I could get out of, I want to see a nice, let's maybe get these 80s. All right, see there's one at the bid. See the ask? See, you can watch it. We can zoom in. All right, let's zoom in and we watch this. Here we go. Watch me get out of this market. See if we can. So there's one at 80, 85. I'll take, see there's one, 85. We get filled at 70. We got filled at 80. Let's get 90. I'll be okay with 90. So that's me. Okay, I got filled there at 90. Let's see if it, see how that changed from 7 to 8. I'll get 300. See, there's 7 there. Now there's 8. There we go. 9. Okay, I got filled at 300. There we go. Let's just go ahead and just pull this. Let's see if we get 320s. I'll take another one at 310. I'm not going to be too picky with it. Yeah, I could take 305. If it will give it to me. They're battling right here at 300. I could take 300. Yeah, there's nothing there at 300. So I could get it. But the buyers are willing to get up to 300. I'm fine with 305. I'll put my bid at 305. Nope, gonna pull that. I get 310 on that one. Yeah, I see that one order flashing at 305. 2, 1. There we go. 310. What do I got? I'm in one left. One's left. All right. I'll get out market so you guys could see. You guys want to see. You want to see my. I always love to demonstrate this. Whenever I have an opportunity, I love to demonstrate this. Okay. I could sell a market order, and you guys could see this. I've zoomed in. I zoomed in so everyone can see this because I love demonstrating it whenever I have an opportunity. I zoomed into a 100 or 1 second chart purely for an example. Okay, so for anybody who does question, and I always want to do it when there's an opportunity because why not? Here we go. Very, very low liquidity here. It's the Nikkei, low volume. And so you believe it. There's a difference between simulated accounts and live accounts. And so hopefully we could go ahead and let's see if I could sell and we could see it go through the books. We can see it go through the books. Come on. Let's see if we can get these 20s. Because if I sell market, I'm getting out at the bid, right? Right now the bid's at 310. That's where the current market. That's what the market's last trade price is. So 315. Are we ready? Now it's at 320. So we're getting 320, 315. Let's see if I could get a little bit better. We are at the breakout level, right? So we could see a nice breakout if we do get through it. But this is I want to get at a little bit better price. 325. Okay, here we go. 320s. And there you go. So there you go. I got filled right there at 320. So that was my order. And that's that. That is that. Nice little $1,400 pick-me-up. Yeah, that was a good demonstration. Good demonstration. Yeah, it's choppy. Look, I'm surprised it triggered me in. I'm really surprised that triggered me in. I did not expect that one. But a setup's a setup for a reason, right? A setup is a setup for a reason. It's slow markets, but there's money to be made. I'm going to wake up and say, if only I had a runner, because this thing has the potential to go. This thing has the potential to go. But that's okay. You see a penny, you pick it up, right? So tell me, there's that saying, you walk over $1 to, yeah, no hungry eyes. That's all right. This one has that freaking potential to go. Let's move on. It's okay if it rallies. NASDAQ's pushing up. Okay, let's get back to that. Let's go get back to the slow markets account. Oil climbing now. Yeah, I do. I can see oil turning up to these 80s. That's a nice. This is a nice reference to put on it. You know what? We could do a buy stop. Yeah, I'm gonna get in here. This is gonna be the trade. Practice what I preach. Come on, Dakota. Practice what I preach. That's a good risk reward. This is a decent risk reward. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Got in early. Typically, I would have a buy stop at, like 48, 49, and then looking for a take profit. But I got in a little bit early, saved me a couple ticks. Nice 1-to-1 risk reward. And that is going to be the slow trade of the night. This will be the slow trades for tonight. This is where I will just turn my computer off, let this trade run. I like this stop loss. It has a few areas of reference for a nice stop loss. And it's another pivot point right here. If I zoom into a 5-minute chart, this is why I liked it. I didn't like it if the risk was going to be down here around these 76s. because that's not a great risk reward. That's an upside down risk reward. But since this gave me an opportunity to limit my risk a little bit better, then yeah, this is a good trade. This is a 1-to-1 risk reward. This would be a trade I could hold overnight. This is a good slow markets trade. It's based off that higher time frame. You seen I went through and I did the same technicals under on the higher time frame, zoomed in, executed right here. Obviously, you could always get better pricing sometimes, but yeah. 70.42 is not too bad. And if we can break through these 47s, then I'm just looking for something short and sweet, nothing too crazy. Looking for this market. I could even make an argument to tighten up just a little bit, go for a nice clean 1-to-1 risk reward. And yeah, that is the trade. We'll review this one tomorrow and we'll say, you know, how did this trade work out? Was it good? Was it bad? What could I have done better? What could we have been done different? How did the market react? Yeah, this is that trade. Let's get to some questions. We could watch this trade, see what it's doing, see how it goes. But that is the slow markets for this slow markets account. Yeah, typically every trade during slow markets for this account is just going to be overnight. And then when I say overnight, I mean while I sleep. I'm here in the US, Mountain Standard Time, Central Standard Time for Topstep. And overnight for me, it means while I'm sleeping, and it means holding a trade throughout the night. The next time I'm going to, take a look at this trade is going to be in the morning when I wake up for fast markets. Remember, this market could either do one of three things. We could rally up, hit the take profit, sell off, hit my stop loss, go somewhere in between, and we can manage this trade somewhere in between. For the sake of slow markets, I'm just going to be letting this one play out, and we'll see how these results are. So far, so good. One trade, one winner on this account, 536. And yeah, I'm excited. I love this. This is fun. This is fun. This is why I really enjoy doing it. Now, this would be a good one that I could do a journal entry. We could do a journal entry on this too. If this trade doesn't work out, I think one journal entry I'm going to put is trading against the trend. This is counter trend. This is a counter trend trade just because of these sell-offs. And then I think even journaling during class could be a good thing. Let me know what you think, because I wouldn't mind doing journals, and maybe I could show traders and maybe we could talk through a journal together of these individual trades. But yeah, why did you place that trade? What was wrong with it? How could we improve? Is there a way to avoid it? Is there a way to manage risk? Maybe have a better take profit, because maybe there's an argument for somebody out there that the take profit could be higher, right? That this could be a 3-to-1 risk reward, maybe even something higher. But yeah, for this sake, I'm okay with just a 1-to-1. Not looking for anything too crazy because it's counter trend. Usually my counter trend trades, I don't like to look for anything dramatic, right? You typically see bigger trades with the trend, like that sell-off, like that short in here on Crude. You had a lot more opportunity to the downside. But yeah, somebody definitely has a different view than that. On mobile, is it possible to set buy and sell orders on the chart? I'm not sure. I haven't done a lot of mobile trading on the charts on Topstep, and it depends on your platform, I'm sure. 100 contracts we're about to sell off. Any advice for XFA accounts to scale properly? Floor, on how to scale properly. I tell traders, if you can't trade small, you can't trade big. I'd practice trading 1 micro. Once you develop a process and you feel confident, then you could do to 2 micros for a while. And then after 2 micros, then you could set your own setup on determining how you scale up. I don't think there's an exact guideline of how you should scale. Some traders base it off profit. Like, yeah, for every $1,000 I make, I'm going to increase my size by 1 micro. That could be a decent rule. That I don't know how great that is. It really depends on you, right? If you want to say every $1,000, I'm increasing my trade size by 1 micro, do it. If you want to say every $500, you're going to increase your trade size by 1 micro, do it. But think of it in the long run. You need to think of it in the long run. Like, where are you going to be in a year from now? And if you keep doing that, like, what's it going to look like? What's it going to be? When are you going to take your payouts? If you take a payout, are you going to scale down? And so those are the questions that you do need to ask yourself going forward. And when you decide to change the size, the size that you're trading. All right. Well, I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and leave that trade running until tomorrow. I don't think there's anything else to do. I am flat in my live. Let's make sure I don't have any resting or pending orders anymore. Yeah, live account is good. That Nikkei trade, I got out right there. And so, yeah, that's it. That's it for a Sunday, everybody. It was a fun one. Lots of fun. Did everybody enjoy their weekend? Did everybody enjoy their weekend? I did. I absolutely love my weekend. Nice, relaxing. I didn't really. Funny story. I was gonna wait to go over the details in fast markets if MP joins me. Have some fun conversations with MP. Lots of laundry. We still have a few minutes. Looking forward for the week ahead. Is trading the only thing that us as traders we look forward to Monday? I look forward to Monday. Family in good waves. Thanks, Coach. Yeah, sometimes I get bored. I know. Saturday night, I made myself a snack. I made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I scrolled through Netflix for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, there's nothing on Netflix. So I hopped on the Twitterverse and asked a question that I knew would provide some entertainment based off of everyone's replies, and I loved every moment of it. It never better than Netflix. Better than Netflix. Enjoyed it. Watch the Gabby Petito story. I've been by myself all weekend. Palm Springs. I'm gonna be gone next week, everybody. It's gone now. I look forward to slow markets Sunday night. Yeah, no football. No, it's all slow markets. Slowish, right? Sometimes we get moves like this. That was one heck of a move here in the Nikkei. Yeah, Richard, the Bahamas. Did I already say that? Did I already tell everybody I'm going to the Bahamas? So I'll be gone next week. I just love trading, not losing. Losing part of the game. If I told everybody how much I lost on Friday in my personal account, it might make your eyes kind of go wide. This past Friday, do some pacing, just have a weird memory. Was it a market maker? Oh man, you lost too, bro. I tell you what, there's when I lose, I lose big. I don't lose small. It's all perspective. It's all in perspective. About 5.5%. I lost about 5.5%. Ricky T. Riches, yeah. I should never say anything. Yeah, 5.5%. We'll keep it at that. That was Thursday, Zero. 36. 36 was a good day. Or Thursday was a great day. 75K is crazy. 125. Okay, let's see. I'll give somebody a clue. I'll give you a clue. It's more than that, Shan. They can't always be Winners? No, unfortunately. And the thing is, it's unrealized. There's a difference between here's what a lot of traders don't understand. There's a difference between day trading, right, where you're in and out of positions in the same day, because there's a P&L, right? There's a realized P&L, and then there's an unrealized P&L. Cody, yeah, that's as close as it gets. There's an unrealized P&L that fluctuates with the markets, right? There's an unrealized P&L that fluctuates with the markets. What do they say? What's that joke on online where it's not a loss until you close it? Would I review Coach Jay's stats or any other? Yeah, maybe Coach Jay and I could have a conversation. Richard Harris, Skyline. Dakota, you can use the US dollar in the Bahamas. Dakota. NC. You give me faith in everyone. You guys see me lose. I talk about my losses all the time. My losses all the time. The Dom. Jimbo. Funny you haven't posted losses you've had in a few weeks in X. I've posted losses, bud. Tune in. I talk about them. How do you know I lost today or on Friday? I said it. How do you guys know when I lose? I say it. I show you. You guys get to see it. But I don't like talking about my personal accounts, but I've had some traders ask me the question, so I've been a little bit more transparent than I probably should be. Yeah, Slowmart. Personal accounts are personal. I have a few. I don't mind sharing the one where I day trade, where I scalp, I place trades. There's plenty of times where I post and I share my losses. You get to see them every day. Please look at the DOM. What's up? What's up with the DOM? What did I miss? Oh, okay. Look at this. That's what you're saying. Coach Jay, who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? Oh, okay. Let's see. What's going on here? That's 1,000 lots. That's 1,000 contracts sitting right there. What do we do, Coach Jay? Is this going to mean something? Last time we seen orders that big, it was Thursday, right? Before the big sell-off, right? Someone says spoofers. I don't know. We seen those orders get filled. Are they spoofers? That's pretty big. Those are huge. Oh, are they going to get filled tonight? Why are they doing it tonight? And they're leaving them there. That's a lot of money. These are big orders. There were some big orders came out on Thursday. Your platform's closed. You might have to open it up. The last time we seen orders, the last time we seen the order that big, it was, where was it at? It was here. It was right here. I remember that. It was very, very clean. This was on the 19th, right? It was on the 19th, and it was, remember that? These two, I mean, at least there might have been others, Coach Jay, but I remember during Power Hour, the house account was trying to get into a long, and that big 900 contract came in around these 289, 280 something, and they got filled, and we just completely sold off. And then the funny thing is, the following day, we had that huge market sell-off, and then again we came up, and then we had that big sell-off. So I wonder if it's something. They got to know something, right? What are those I am. What are the chances those are buy stops? Nope. I don't believe that these are buy stops. Typically, these should be limit orders. That is the non-farm spike. They are real orders. That is the low of the non-farm spike. Those are real orders. Yeah, it's 1,000 to sell. These are 1,000 to sell. So what that is, this is basically someone wanting to sell 600 at 85, and then somebody wanting to sell 87 or 400 at 87. Now, yeah, like Coach says, stop orders do not show up on the books. Stop orders get triggered and they execute at market, but limit orders, these are limit orders, they show up on the books. Cody, if those are hit, will price go down? No, not necessarily. Sometimes you'll see these get hit and they get filled and the market goes up. But the thing is, what we were talking about this week or last week is we've seen some big orders come through all last week. And if we look at the daily chart, I mean, there's tons of conspiracies, right? You think about conspiracies where, well, we were seeing some big orders. We had that one order get filled right around here. It was at 890s. That was 900 contracts. 900 contracts got filled up here. So whether it's somebody knows something, if bigger, I mean, this is not a retail trader. This is not, at least it shouldn't be somebody trading retail, right? The markets can definitely go up, right? Nobody knows, shouldn't know exactly where this market will go unless they have inside information. It's not a retail. This is a bigger player, whether it's a bank, it's an institution. Do we really know their intention? No. The only thing we know, it's somebody with a lot of money who wants to sell a big size. Now, whether they're covering a long, I don't know where they would be covering a long from, right? Maybe they're covering a long that they bought down here. Who knows? Whether they're entering into a new short position, who knows? Whether they're trying to hedge, whether it's Nancy Pelosi, you just don't know. The only facts that we have is there's someone wants to sell 600 contracts at 85, and someone wants to sell 400 contracts at 87. This is huge. This is huge for the NASDAQ. This is like the ES size. This is kind of big for the ES. Like for the NASDAQ, this is huge. Typically, I would be okay with seeing, 50 contracts. Wow, 50 contracts is big. 50 contracts is relatively big. 100 contracts, I'm like, oh, wow, that 100 contract, it's huge. But 600 and then 400, 1,000, that's next level. That's someone really big. And it's interesting that they're wanting to get in, and they have these orders through tonight, through the Asian session. So are they looking for continuation tomorrow? Do they want to get into this market short before tomorrow's price action? Do we have major news coming out? We have the Eurozone CPIs. Nothing too crazy for tomorrow. Nothing crazy for tomorrow, to be honest. Maybe some unexpected announcements that you just never know. Could be guarding an option. Yeah, there's so many different things that could be happening. There's definitely a ton of different things that could be happening for why those orders. And they didn't get placed until, obviously, they didn't. I didn't see this price action, but I'll be curious to see if there are any big orders that got filled here. Swing calls Monday. I don't know. You kind of don't want to get in front of these big orders. We've seen what happened last time. It's a glitch. JPAL side hustle. Yeah, I don't like that. As a bull, I don't like that. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. We'll see what happens. Tune in. We'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow. See if these get filled tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if they get filled tonight. Maybe during... You got to have just as many people to buy them, though. You have to realize that is you for somebody to sell 600 contracts, you need 600 buyers. You need 600 buyers at 85. Same here. If you want to sell 400 contracts, you need 400 buyers. So there has to be at least 1,000 buyers at this level. So maybe if you guys are going to watch this tonight, anybody who's watching this tonight, what you might see is price come up. They'll hit it, and you'll see some of the contracts get filled. Maybe it fills 100 of them, and then the price sells off a little bit. And the price comes back up, and it hits it. Maybe they fill another 100 or so, and then the price sells off. And the price might keep hitting this this wall, and then eventually it might break through it, and then it'll hit to the next one. And most likely will jump, right? Most likely you'll see price go from 85, and as soon as we break through that 600 contract wall, immediately we'll jump, and we'll jump to this 87, and then we'll hit it, and then maybe come back down, then hit it again. And so a lot of times that's what you'll see is like a ping pong ball, right? You bounce off of a wall, bounce, and until you break through it. You do the same thing, and then if you break through it, then typically you see some follow through. But I don't know. These are big contracts. It'll be interesting. Will the market pause there? We're gonna find out. It's a great for tonight. That's a great wall of China for tonight. You're not gonna see this price be in too big of a hurry to fill those contracts. Who wants to buy into that? I wouldn't. I'd be hesitant to buy into that. Now there is a strategy that I tend to see is if you believe that paper gets filled, which paper usually gets filled, paper being these high contracts, then sure, you can technically buy one contract. So I could buy one here at 772. So if I buy one here at 772, I would want to sell mine at 84 3/4. So I would buy one somewhere lower, and then I would use that as my profit target. But I want to get out before that contract gets filled. Because if I believe that this market's going to come up and fill these orders, I might want to put my take profit at 84.75 or 84.50. And that's probably, definitely not the only one. There's probably a reason why there's 31 contracts right there. There's 31 contracts right there before we get to that. So I'm sure those 31, there's now 20, right? So there are some decent size right before that wall that's not too reasonable. It would have worked, right? Every single time we see a big order that comes in, then it's just like, buy it wherever the market is, and then you'll sell it wherever, a couple ticks before it gets to that big order. Now, the risk is if they decide to change, and if they decide to just chase this market down, and they're like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I can't get 85. They're going to move all 600 contracts, and they move it down to here. Then you're kind of just SOL, right? You're out of luck, and you're like, oh man, that didn't work. So there's a lot of strategy behind these big orders, whether you want to trade for the market to get to them, or you want to trade in the direction of the market, saying that, yeah, I'm going to wait for these orders to get filled, and I want to put my sell order with them. So some traders, like obviously, it's usually a decent play, right? It's been a decent play for a very long time. Like Andre says, it's just do it. Someone wants to sell, join them. They probably know something you don't, or they move markets. And there could definitely be a strategy to see, yeah, what's going to happen. I'm going to put that. This is coming at 785. So 785. And let's go ahead and Can we type in here? Can we type? Let's see. Let's see. We're going to go 600. Oh, no, I don't want to change the interval. We want to do text. Yeah, we're going to go 600 contracts at 785. I want to see. Let's see how this plays out for tomorrow. I'm on fast markets tomorrow. TopstepTV fast markets, and I'm going to put that there. And then 887. Basically the same price. We'll see. And we'll see where this is. We'll go 400 contracts at 404. Oh man, those don't look. At 404, we'll go. Oh. I'll just put both of these here at. I'll just put that right there. Okay, we'll see what happens. Do we just watch them get filled tonight? I might be okay with hanging out for another 10 minutes. We're getting closer. Are we going to see these get filled? Let's zoom in. Oh, what? We could zoom in here. Let's see. We gotta see. We gotta watch these get filled. All right, here we go. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. We'll watch from a 100 tick chart too. Let's see. Let's see what happens when we get here. Oh damn! What? Okay, they're not filled. I thought they were filled. It got up to 83. 83. Yeah, we can watch this. We'll watch this together. I don't mind. We're hanging out. We're hanging out. Now, what's going to happen if we do fill them? Market's scared. I tell you, market's scared. No one wants to be buying into that. It's hard. At least from a retail perspective, right? What retail trader wants to buy into that? Unless they're going to be selling it before it gets there. See, look, that was the strategy. That was the strategy, right, Coach Jay? You see those orders come into the books, you buy the market, and then you could execute those orders before they get there. So, you know, that technically could have netted. That was like a nice 10-point trade. That would have been a 10-point trade. I'm halfway tempted because that's a trade. That is a legit trade where you can buy it and then sell it at just before we get there. So there's still a little bit of meat on the bone. Maybe because I'm an idiot. I mean, it's not. Yeah, let's see. We're almost there. It's making the attempt for 85. I mean, essentially that's what, I mean, there's a lot of traders doing that same thing, right? People know that, not just me, not just us. Everyone that sees these orders on the books, everybody could see this, where you can just, you know, I'm going to buy market and I'm going to sell as we approach it. And then you see this type of price action. Look at all the selling that came in right at 83. So as we were approaching that, there's a lot of sellers stepping in. So people, other than just us, can see this. And we're so close too. All right, 10 more minutes, and I'm just going to have a hard stop. Bernie. Bernie. If I was ever to have a discount code, it would need to be regulated and legit. I'm not one to peddle affiliates. It would need to be a regulated, legit, and yeah, it needs to be 100% transparent. If I'm ever going to have any type of code or something like that. Here we go, into the 80s. You think the 600 contracts will disappear soon? I don't think so. If it was, I think it would have disappeared before we got to 83. Yeah, to me it's not spoofing. There's no way somebody would hold 600 contracts while this market got so close. This action's turned into just one more drink and then I'm out of here. I don't know. This is kind of what you live for. You don't see this very often in these markets, and when you do, you wanna watch this happen. Bernie, you have to get caught first. Come on. Someone add one? Someone added one? I could probably scalp this for 5 points. I don't have the liquidity to fix 600 contracts, 1,000 contracts. I don't want to be in the opposite direction of these, whoever this is. Does this mean we're going to have a huge sell-off tomorrow? We're getting closer. Come on. Yeah, somebody with this contract, if it was a spoof, if this order wasn't real, I'm sure they would have pulled it by now. Had to have, right? Market long, 75 contracts, and we'll get there. Do I have a prediction? Sure. I could give my opinion. I will always give my opinion. I don't mind giving my opinion, but that's all it is. It's a simple opinion with that risk disclosure. My opinion is we sell off. My opinion is we go down. I covered this earlier in the class. I was talking about how there's still a lot more room to the downside, and I would love to see this market have a further sell off. So, and I think this kind of helps me confirm it. Like the sellers are not done. Like somebody, yeah, I don't think they would want to sell 1,000 contracts if they're bullish on this market. Somebody who's bullish would not, unless it's a hedge, right? But yeah, would you really want to hedge if you're very bullish on the NASDAQ? You bet they move it down soon? It looked like they was going to get filled. I mean, we got up to 83 right here, 83. I mean, how far are we up today? This has been a decent move. Like, look at that move since the open. We are up. So we've got up 0.5%, 0.6 at this peak. So I mean, imagine this yesterday. Yesterday, if this type of rally happened, I mean, people were jumping in and selling this off like immediately, like no hesitation, just jumping in and having this. Well, dang, I really thought we was going to get that filled. Give it 5 more minutes. Yeah, that 900 contract, the 1,000. There's 1,000. There's a lot of fear around that. Me, you, everyone who's watching this, watching patiently. Who's going to be the one that fills this? Yeah, it was also OPEX Friday. Who's going to fill it? So from a technical standpoint only, this doesn't look like a long to you. From a technical standpoint, off of what you're seeing here, possibly, right? So we had a break, and a technical standpoint is you'll see some follow through. But remember, it's all about comparison. Like, what time frame are you looking at? From a technical standpoint, it's pretty bearish, right? This is pretty bearish. So there's a lot of momentum to the downside. And then you take a look at those higher time frames that I was reviewing at the beginning of this class. It's hard to be a buyer, but sure, tonight we had that nice rally up, and we got a little bit of a pullback, and if we get that continuation, sure. It's just hard to be a buyer based off of the higher time frames, right? If you look at these higher time frames, it's just very difficult, especially on the daily, right? Look at the daily, and I could see that there's more room down, but who knows? Like I said, who knows? Because guess what? You could easily make an argument to say, buy the dip, buy this dip. Why would you not want to buy this dip? Every dip has been buyable, right? Buy that dip. No, buy that one. Big sell-off, buy it. Buy it. Whenever we have a sell-off, just buy it. Don't overthink. Don't think too much. Just buy. You can make an argument to buy the market. You could always make an argument to sell the market. It's just following the same process that you have. Do you have sellers on the DOM on ES? I don't. Do we have? Is there any sellers in like these other markets? Is that what you're asking? Nothing more than, that's normal. There are a lot of sellers, right? 200, 200, 200, 200 compared to people wanting to buy this market, right? You see how there's a lot less buyers than there are people willing to sell up here in the ES. Okay, come on. Let's see if we could get this thing filled. All right, 82s. Quote of the year, just buy it. That was the quote of last year too. Just buy it. The market does not want it. It might take all night to fill these orders, to be honest, because it's more than just the 600. You have to understand that 600 plus 30 plus 13 plus 20 plus 12 plus all the other people coming in at market. There's probably a lot of traders and people coming in before these big contracts and entering at market, and you can't see those at market orders. I passed my combine today. Great work, Mug. Great work. All right, last minute, and I'm not thinking we're going to see any orders fill. At least while I'm on stream. As soon as I end stream, we might get it filled. Let's see what happens right at the top of the hour. 30 seconds left. Yeah, there might be icebergs. People wanting to jump in before it, entering at market, and not seeing much above it and not seeing much below it. And while we were waiting, what did the Nikkei do? Just curious. Man, I got out at a decent price, huh? Here in the Nikkei. Yeah, this is not happening. Oh, maybe last. Let's see what happens. It's top of the hour. See a little bit of liquidity come in. Can we get it? If we don't get it here, then I'm ending it. We have more wine. Let's sip and enjoy. See, people just stepping in. All right, everybody. I really wanted us to come up and fill those 1,000 contracts, and we didn't. We tried. We watched it. And I'm still watching it, waiting, thinking at any second we could just jump up. Just one more candle. One more candle. And then I'm going to end the stream. And then as soon as I end the stream, it's going to just bounce up and fill. It's so close. When it goes, it flies. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning. Keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this. I don't know where my notation went, but everyone could see it. A lot of people are scared. So, all right. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. If not, tomorrow night, we will take a look at that crude oil trade, see how that one plays out. That was the next overnight slow market. Remember, if not, take care and see you tomorrow. Bye.